What is so exciting about bank heist stories? Art robbery. And of course, in the case of episode 1 of the series, diamonds. How a group of thieves stole almost $250 million without triggering a single alarm or harming anyone. Belgium 2003, the event considered by many as the heist of the century. Jewelry thieves get into the most fortified safe in one of the most secure places in the world and escape with 100 million to $250 million. Estimate varies in diverse sources. In diamonds, pearls, rubies, gold, silver, gemstone, ancient heirloom, and Rolex watches. Everything started when this man, Leonardo Notarbartolo, moves to the Diamond District in Antwerp, Belgium. He rents an office in Antwerp World Center, paid in cash, and due to the nature of the diamond business in Antwerp, a lot of the business is done with trust on the different diamond traders. No questions, no background check was done prior to welcoming him with an ID card granting him access to the building. A well-known thief to the Italian authorities. For over 2 years since renting that space, he remains without making a single business and without calling attention for himself. Every day he goes into the vault, but he needed to be smart about it and not entering too many times so to not arouse suspicions or someone else asking questions. With a hidden camera inside a bag with a hole in it. And what he figures out, he feeds out to his accomplice back in Italy. The safe has up to 10 layers of security. Robbing it would be practically impossible. With creativity, luck, and a few $100s worth of material they found at a hardware store, over the period of 2 years the group carefully studied every detail of the building and its security system, and figured out how to bypass each one of them. The combination dial. It is believed that Notarbartolo recorded someone opening the safe, and that's how he was able to figure out the code to open the door. The key. He knew the two-part key was stored in the same place, together, in a closet near the door. This saved time when security personnel needed to open the door without having to look for two keys. The magnetic sensor was another example of the group's luck. Instead of being mounted on the inside of the vault, the magnetic plate connected to the alarm was on the outside of the door, most likely to save money during construction. All the thieves had to do was cover it with a different plate and place it to trick the system in opening the door, without triggering the alarm. The heat and motion sensor. The day prior to the heist, Notarbartolo sprayed over them when he was alone in the vault accessing his own lockbox. The light sensor. They first work in the dark, then the tallest one of them covers the sensor with tape and they are able to turn on the lights once again without triggering any alarm. What about the security cameras, you ask? They did not worry about them for 2 reasons. They knew no one was monitoring them. And they still use VCR tape, which they could easily replace from blank ones on their way out, which they did. Now they had the entire vault to themselves, and they knew no one was coming for the next 60 hours. And in the case someone did, they had one of the group monitoring on the outside and the police radio frequency. But no one did. And they escape with an amount that to this day is debatable, but estimate runs between 100 million and $250 million, even more in today's money. Because of the vehicle barriers, the thieves could not drive near the vault and walk back to Notarbartolo's apartment, where they could then celebrate their accomplishment. No guns, no violence, and hundreds of millions of dollars richer. They start their drive back to Italy. They had too many things in the car, and they decide to burn all of the trash, but a fire would arouse suspicion. So they stop in a patch of Belgian forest and just left their trash. This is where their luck starts to run out. A local resident, angry at people dumping trash in the forest, patrolled that area with his dog and found the trash. He was used to calling the police every time that happened without much response from them. But this time was different. What he found, they were interested. There were small diamonds, foreign currency, bonds, and other papers. Among the trash, a half-eaten salami sandwich, where the police could recover DNA and some of Leonardo's Notarbartolo payment stub, since his security deposit box was one of the ones that did not get open. That could only mean he must be one of the thieves. Even after knowing of the police discovery, Leonardo Notarbartolo goes back to the Diamond Center as if nothing had happened. Police then arrest him, sentence him to 10 years in prison for being the orchestrator and leading a group called the School of Turin, along with 3 of his accomplices, Ferdinando Finotto, Elio Donorio, and Pietro Tavano. They were sentenced to 5 years each. A 5th suspect was never caught. Most of the loot was never recovered. All suspects are now free. What happened to the money and the diamonds, and if now they can enjoy the fruits of their heist, no one knows. The many victims who had valuables stolen, many did not have insurance and now is lost forever. I wish I could end this video by saying crime does not pay, which it doesn't. But in the case of the School of Turin, a few $100s in material, a few years in prison, and a potential fortune hidden somewhere. You decide.